Welcome to part 2 of our theme of Invasion Alert. I'm Jay, an inhabitant of this new technologically advanced world. I'm joined today by Angie, my wonderful and knowledgeable young co-host, as always.
Hey everyone, welcome back.
Hey Angie. Today we're going to be talking about the Metaverse's target audience as well as some more on education. So who exactly is our target audience? Simply said, it will be those people, unlike me, that were born into the internet already. What do I mean by this? It is those Gen whatever names that I always seem to need help with. Angie, you know this a little bit better than I do. Help me out here.
No problem, Jay. The Gen names come from the generations of people and when they are born. You, Jay, are a Generation X.
Hey, like a pirate, right? X marks the spot.
Yes, you are old like the pirates, but they basically flow like this. Baby boomers are 65 years old or Gen X, 45 years or older. Millennials or Gen Y, 28 years or older. And Gen Z, the most recent generation.
Okay, got it. So most of our audience is Gen Y and Gen Z, correct?
Yes, precisely. And that is part of why our guest speaker today is Tanya. She's here to help us understand why the Metaverse is targeting Gen Z and how they can affect the Eduverse. Welcome to the show today, Tanya.
Hello, Jay. Hello, Angie. Thank you for having me today.
Our guests, Tanya, are what make the show. We are thrilled to have you here today. So tell us, what do you believe is the overall target audience of the Metaverse?
The primary target audience will undoubtedly be the Gen Z for one reason and one reason only, that they were born into the internet. And because of this, their imaginations are not limited to seeing the internet as just a few web pages.
No, I can honestly see that because I didn't have any real access to the internet until I was in my mid-20s. I didn't even get my Nokia phone until I could legally drink alcohol. So I see both the pre and post-internet world.
Precisely. Gen Zs are actually preparing to work and live within the Metaverse. And the jobs in the tech industry are very high in demand right now and is expected to grow significantly.
Generation Z, or Gen Z for short, commonly known informally as Zoomers, is the demographic generation that follows millennials. Members of Generation Z have been termed digital natives since they are the first social generation to have grown up with early access to the internet and portable digital devices.
The research on the state of Gen Z shows that 95% of Gen Zs own a smartphone, 83% owns a laptop, 78% owns an advanced gaming console, and 57% owns a desktop computer.
Okay. But I own all of those as a Gen X, so why am I not part of the target audience?
Well, have you ever needed help using any of those devices, Jay?
Oh, okay, yeah, I see your point. Yeah, all the time I need help on podcasts. Yeah, you're right. Point taken. Please continue.
Yeah, exactly. So the tech can be owned and used by the older generation, but Gen Zs are the ones who can best see the potential of it, because they do not need to first understand it, if that makes sense. So in addition, the current context, Gen Z is also the generation that is heavily exposed to and strongly attracted by communication activities and apply modern technologies such as augmented reality or AR or the virtual reality, the VR.
These are the technologies leading the trend in the market, actually. They help bring interesting interactions between brands and customers. They can create many positive emotions during the experience. In fact, it will be Gen Z who push the changes because they want more from the internet than just a few web pages.
Precisely. Let me tell you a story about a shoe company, Vans.
Okay.
has established a virtual skate court on Roblox. So they're allowing players to try out new tricks and perhaps earn points for designing their avatar. So according to the brand spokesman, the internet metaverse is the most delicate area to raise brand awareness amongst companies' primary demographic of 13 to 35-year-olds. So far, the business has received more than 48 million visitors on its online platform.
I might not look it now, but I actually used to know how to skate. Horribly. But I had my time on those skate decks.
I think that is crazy, and you might find this crazy as well. You know, Gucci is also a participant in the metaverse.
No, do not tell my wife that, please.
So in March of 2021, Gucci unveiled a Gucci Virtual 25. It's an exclusive digital sneakers that can be worn in augmented reality or utilized in collaborative apps like Roblox and VR chat. And they cost about $12.99 across platform, which is a bargain for luxury items, even if it's only virtual.
Okay, but like $13 for some digital shoes? What's next?
That is a really good question, actually. We don't really know what is next, but one way the metaverse will change is with the Eduverse.
The metaverse can generate high levels of socialization and learning, even with the restrictions that lockdown and isolation periods bring. So it can be a space where we not only learn practical or applicable skills, but we can also learn to apply these to a social environment by using Empower.
Oh, okay. What is Empower exactly?
All right, so Empower is a tool for designing, creating, and assigning like standard-based curricula for students and teachers. It is meant to be a supplemental instructional tools for teachers and professional development facilitators. Users, they can design lessons, units, or course for like their proficiency-based learning, and students can submit multiple types of work digitally, including text, audio, presentation, video files, as well as freeform drawing.
Okay, so much like we are doing now at Stanford, correct?
Way more than that, actually. Imagine if you have like a history class that takes place in ancient Greece. Imagine being in ancient Greece in a VR environment while still in class.
Wouldn't this also work for space classes as well, allowing us to see the stars that we're learning?
Of course, but we have barely begun to see the true potential of education on the metaverse. So a study in the journal College Teaching found that students could recall a statistic lecture more easily when the lecturer added jokes about relevant topics. So imagine the information that can be retained by users who actually walked the street of Greece and spoke with Socrates.
Yeah, I tried that strain once. It was pretty smooth. And he told me things I will never remember.
We do not talk about that on this podcast anymore, Jay. Remember what the FCC said before? But anyways, did you know in her book, neurologist Judy Willis showed how fun experiences increase levels of dopamine, endorphins, and oxygen? All things that promote learning.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're having fun while learning something, you'll feel easier to comprehend and remember it. So we are inspired to make the process of learning and education more exciting for students.
Learning should be exciting and thrilling. Like, I can see how the metaverse and education will help the classroom become more vibrant and authentic. You know, and wow, it is such a process. You know, I would like to say that I think we are really tracking the trajectory of the metaverse in these episodes quite well. And I would like to thank Tanya for being a great guest speaker today. Thank you, Tanya.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me. I've always been a big fan of the show anyway, so thanks for having me here.
Thank you. And for our faithful listeners, set your alarms, mark your calendars, and be ready for our final episode on the metaverse coming next week when we dig a little deeper into the future of the metaverse and the Eduverse.